My pace of learning and improving has to be very swift. There is always more than time allows us to look into. It's essential to pare down to key points. Retrospectives seem to need to move ever faster in order to press on with significant details of the latest major concerns. Imagine all of us have a solemn, serious responsibility. Are we worthy of the top talent in US intelligence? Do we have the capacity to discern absolute truths? There are lots of videos exposing sly criminal behavior indulged by high-level officials. Politics keeps on giving us a carnival show, theatrical production that pretends everything is all a crucial drama of conflict between Democrats and Republicans. Certainly things have intensified with Trump. Republicans have always scorned Democrats, saying they are soft on crime and voters need to vote for tough Republicans. However, Republicans are a crime wave in their own right. See scandalous videos about 9/11 and the ties leading to war in Iraq and Afghanistan. What about the crimes of authoritarian repression and disrespect of amendment freedoms and justice for victims? Always the invocation of patriotism intended to be aggressively exclusive, not wishing people well, but exploiting the people's fears. Just because the president has a seemingly ubiquitous public image profile which relates to the people through the press and the media, we get a false impression of what is being planned, what is going on, what can be done, and what should be done. Looking at many YouTube videos, it is possible to make a consensus of various geopolitical productions. Certainly, one can see where people agree and where they disagree. One can relatively easily tell where people are getting straight to the serious business or where they may be getting distracted or even outright fooling around with fripperies and frivolity. Fortunately for me, in a few ways, I don't have the pressure on me being absolutely committed to provide concentrated solutions to difficult, vexing problems, even though I like trying to be attuned to wise systems which tend toward preferable, optimized, beneficial results. There's constant focus and emphasis upon protection and security with no weakness in the necessity of defense. People have been criticizing Trump from many points of view. I'm sure the people whom I play music to want to be happy and enjoy life, especially through the festive holidays. Music can impress people and give an uplifting effect of ameliorating and enhancing the atmosphere. People usually diverge into different groups, and the patterns of society can be relatively complex. It's hard to fully comprehend all the various communities, and there are perhaps more cultures than one might perhaps realize when the leaders want to be the only focus. Amidst all the perplexity and amazement, it is certain that very exploitative individuals are colluding in attempt to steal as much as they can get, only caring about gaining a dynastic power to compete with all those old ruling wealthy families that have monopolized in the past golden era. I feel so many people hating that contemptible corruption, flagrant ignorance of equal justice for all. Yes, many people want Trump to be dethroned and ejected from the White House and prevented from presidential power abuses. Instead, all we have been getting is weak talks of impeachments, which seem to lead to nothing but even greater boasting of personal power and rejection of any criticism or restrainers. There is, unfortunately, much too much phony propaganda and misinformation on the war that Putin started, calling it a special military operation that was supposed to be finished in 3 days, but even after 4 years, Putin and the Kremlin have not been able to accomplish their goals or anything like. They have been destroying their own economy, losing lots of soldiers. No one wants to go to the meat grinder in Ukraine. They had to recruit from North Korea. They were so desperate for more cannon fodder. I don't enjoy this war, and Schadenfreude isn't my thing, but Putin does not deserve to get away with any of what he's been doing. He constantly attacks civilian infrastructure and completely non-military dwellings, even schools and hospitals. Please tune into Jake Bro's channel for rigorously detailed presentations on the true status of Ukraine's defense for the last 4 years against Putin's disgraceful evil crimes up to present day. People worry about the US economy because the petrodollar has been even more defied than when Saddam and Colonel Gaddafi traded oil in non-US dollar denominated currency or gold. Venezuela has been following that pattern. BRICS countries are definitely giving challenge to the presumptions of supreme authority that the USA was wont to enjoy of yore. The futuristic ambition of using robots in China has accelerated forthrightly over the last few years. Meanwhile, a pound of honey requires 2 million flowers for bees to visit and gather nectar. A single honeybee produces 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in its lifetime. There can be anywhere from 10,000 to 60,000 bees in a colony, making 10 to 200 pounds of honey per year. The hive travels 55,000 miles, equivalent to twice around the earth. Common stressors on the bees are pests and diseases like mites and viruses, pesticide chemicals in the nectar and pollen, which of course harms the bees' immune and detox systems, monocultures, habitat loss or drought, reduced diverse food sources. Urbanization reduces available forage. Excessive honey harvesting leaves bees with less winter food. High density apiaries increases disease. Bad environmental conditions such as extreme heat, drought, floods, or lack of clean water. Effects on colonies. Behavioral changes observed have been increased aggression, reduced foraging, disorientation, earlier than normal foraging for young bees. Physiological impacts observed have been weakened immune systems, shorter lifespans, impaired learning memory in young bees. Colony level consequences are reduced size, slower brood rearing, increased susceptibility to other threats, breakdown of social resilience, colony collapse. Management needs to focus on social resilience. Colonies can cope via social immunity, grooming, corpse removal. Overloaded systems fail. Beekeeper actions in order to counteract negative trends and tendencies must be ensuring ample winter stores, provide clean water, manage mites, plant diverse forage, and avoid excessive harvesting.